Hi. Today I kind of wanted to talk about my miscarriage. And I see a lot of videos on YouTube about girls talking about their miscarriage experience, and I kind of felt like, hey, maybe I should too. Just kind of get it out there, get it off my chest, because it was definitely a really traumatic thing that I went through. And why not talk about it? Why not get it out there, get it off my chest? Basically, it was early August of 2011. I was 19 years old. I had noticed that I was having some pregnancy symptoms like sore breath, heartburn, my period was late. I got curious and I took a pregnancy test. A very faint second line came up, but I had convinced myself that it was an evaporation line. Few days pass and the symptoms get like more intense, and then my mom started to notice that my period was late and that I was starting to pee a lot more, eat more, and she was like, I think you're pregnant, you need to take a test right now. And I was just like, okay, So I really didn't believe that I was. I took the test and lo and behold, I was definitely pregnant. The test line was darker than the control line. So it was like, yes, you are definitely pregnant. So we both freaked out a little bit. The father of the child, he was my ex-boyfriend at the time. And we had just broken up. I texted his best friend and was like, you need to tell Justin that's his name, that I'm pregnant and he doesn't have to be with me, but he needs to be there for his kid, Soon I get a phone call, I believe it was a phone call from Justin, and he was like, I'm coming over soon, I'm bringing a pregnancy test. He gets here, I take the test, and of course, 2 lines come up, and he just couldn't believe it. I remember he was just like, wow. And I just was like, told you so. We talked. He was like, I think we should give our relationship another chance for this baby because they deserve a family. We went to a pregnancy center because we needed, on paper, proof of pregnancy. And they made me pee in a cup. Took a whole bunch of pregnancy tests, dipped it in my urine, and all of them said positive. So they were like, yes, you are pregnant. And I was just like, yeah, I know. So they gave me a paper to confirm my pregnancy, and we took it to Medicaid just so I could, I needed proof of pregnancy so I could get Medicaid. They drew blood, my OB-GYN that I got through Medicaid, and I was about a little over 5 weeks, I believe. Then a few weeks passed, and we were just ecstatic the whole time. We were just getting so excited about the child. We were saving every penny, every dollar that we got. We had an appointment set up at the same pregnancy center where I got my papers from to have a sonogram. They wanted me to come in and have an ultrasound when I was a little under 8 weeks or at 8 weeks. I forget, it's been 3 years. It was September 7th. They had told me drink a lot of water before you come in. So I had like 3 cups that big of water. And then finally it was time to go in. And we were both really excited, like, yay, we get to see our baby. They performed the ultrasound and we saw our baby. They were trying to detect the heartbeat, and me and Justin were just so excited waiting. Next thing I know, the ultrasound technician was like, why don't you go empty your bladder? I'm gonna do a vaginal ultrasound. I was just like, okay, sure. She started doing the vaginal ultrasound. I kind of knew we needed to be looking for a heartbeat, but I never knew what it looked like, I never knew there was like a little flutter on the screen or whatever. And then I kind of remembered, wait, I'm not hearing anything. And even the look on the technician's face was like worried. And she finally just up and said, I'm not finding a heartbeat. And I was like, well, is it possibly too early to hear a heartbeat? And she just was like, no, we should be able to detect one by now. So at that point, I started getting very, very worried, and so was Justin, of course. They looked for as long as they could, and they just finally said, we can't find anything. And they started giving me these miscarriage pamphlet things. I was just like, what? Hold on. Like, what's going on? And they finally just like, we're sorry. I think you're having a miscarriage. We just can't find a heartbeat. And I started bawling my eyes out, calling my mom. My mom was like, you know what, that pregnancy center, they, I don't think they have like up-to-date ultrasound machines. We're going to go to the hospital and make sure that what they're saying is true. So we went up to the hospital, but we were there for so long. They had rolled me back into an ultrasound room, and the lady had like the screen turned away from me, and I was just like trying to lift my head and look, and she was like, you can't look. And I was just like, that's my baby. I can look at my child if I want to. This may be the last time I'm seeing them. She was done, and I got wheeled back into my room, and we waited a lot longer. I didn't know what else to do, so I just started praying my heart out. They took me to this room where some nurses performed kind of like a pap smear on me, and not even 5 seconds into looking inside me, she's like, yeah, your baby's gone. And I was just like, wait, what do you mean my baby's gone? She's like, they're dead. It was the most heartless thing anybody has ever said to me. I didn't know what to say. Sorry. But they wheeled me back to the room, and I started crying. I was like, she said they're gone. I don't know what to do. What do I do? And my mom was just like, well, let's wait for the doctor to get back here. And the doctor came, and he was like, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but your baby is gone. You had a miscarriage, which is basically something is wrong with your baby, and maybe it was chromosomal. It was nothing you did, but it basically just aborted itself, and your body didn't realize you had a miscarriage, and it continued to grow the gestational sac to you. And they were like, you should have been 9 weeks by now. Your baby's measuring 6 or 7 weeks. I was like, so my baby died 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry. So my baby died 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've been carrying them, loving on them, rubbing my belly even though I didn't have one, singing to my belly, and they weren't there. They couldn't hear me because they were gone. I couldn't understand. I just didn't understand. I was like, at the time I was like, what did I do wrong? Please tell me what I did. And they were like, you did nothing wrong. And now, looking back, I know that I didn't do anything wrong. I ate very healthy. I drank lots of water. I just did everything by the book. Like, I even had that what to expect when you're expecting book, and they said what foods you should eat and stuff, and I did that. I was very healthy. It was so hard to say. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. And me and the father are broken up now. I don't believe that my baby deserved to die. Every day I think about my son. I realized I was not far enough along to know the sex of the baby, but like maternal instincts and all these dreams I had about a little boy, I know in my heart I was gonna have a son. But he is in a much more beautiful place, but knowing that he wasn't scared or hungry or cold, it brings me peace. Anyway, I gotta stop this. For all the women out there who have also had miscarriages, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I know how it feels.